Hello everyone and welcome to Instant Biology by Dr. Neelab. Today we are going to start a new playlist in English, and this playlist would be catering to developmental biology. Now developmental biology is a very important unit when you are talking about CSIR NET and some other life science examinations also. So I have already made a playlist of developmental biology in Hindi, and I have already delivered this particular lecture in Hindi on that playlist. So if those of you who are comfortable in Hindi language, they can switch over to the Hindi video. You can check out that video and you can clear your doubts. In today's lecture, we would be delivering it in English. This is Developmental Biology Lecture Series, lecture number 1. So in this lecture, we would be dealing with what is development and multiple other questions. This particular material or all this material is taken from Gilbert edition number 11, that is the most recent edition of Gilbert. Now before starting this lecture, I have a request to you that those of you who find that the content on this in this channel is good and you get to learn a lot of things, or you get more information out of these videos or this channel, please do not forget to subscribe this channel. This helps us to be working in a better way, and this helps us to get motivated. Right. So now without much ado, let us start this video. One more thing, that the notes of these lectures of the developmental biology lectures I will be posting on Telegram. So the notes for lecture number 1 have already been posted on my Telegram group. I would request you to join that group, the Telegram group, so that you can download the lectures from there or download the study material from there. Now without much ado, let us start. Let us start from the very basics. That means, what do you think is development? What is development? So development is basically a process of progressive changes. What does progressive changes? Progress means to move forward, right? We are continuously progressing. That means development is a very slow process. It is not a very fast process. It gradually happens. Right? And these are multiple step process, slow process and progressive changes happen. Now I can give you an analogy for this. I believe all of you would have seen an apartment or a house getting built. Let us start. All of you would definitely have seen a house getting built. Now suppose you are seeing an apartment getting built. Now first of all what happens is the base of the structure, the base of the entire structure is built. Then the first floor gets built, then the second floor gets built, then the third floor gets built, then gradually the windows and the doors are fitted, tiles is set in, right? So basically what is happening, there are slow changes, there are gradual changes, there are progressive changes. That means you are progressing towards the completion of that entire building. This basically can also be termed as development. So if you take this analogy, if you take the analogy that I gave you and put it into our real life systems, what happens? Basically, first of all, fertilization takes place. The male gamete and the female gamete, they fuse together and then form a zygote. Then gradually this zygote basically undergoes multiple divisions, and after multiple division it forms a large mass of cells. Then this develops into embryo, and then finally the birth of the child takes place. Then after the birth, the child grows up into adult, so on and so forth. So what is this? These are slow progressive changes. These are happening gradually. You cannot say that all the development will take place in one go only. The development will definitely require some time. It is a slow process. So this is the definition of development. Now let me show you, let me try and explain you with the help of a diagram also. Now you can see over here that this is a human being, let us say. Okay, so this human being is made up of multiple cells. Why? Because human beings are not unicellular, but they are multicellular organisms. There are multiple cells that are present inside human beings. Okay, now how are these multiple cells formed? Or how is this human body constructed? How is this human body formed? Now basically the development starts from the fusion of the sperm and the egg. Now what is the sperm? Sperm is the reproductive unit or reproductive cell of the male individual. Similarly, the reproductive cell of the female individual is egg. Now when they both fuse, what will happen? A zygote will be formed. Right? Now zygote is a single cell, but zygote has a large potency in it. That means zygote can divide and divide and divide and divide. How will it divide? It will divide through mitosis. Now suppose this was zygote. What happens is one division will take place like this, another division will take place like this, and continuously divisions will take place. This will result into the formation of multiple cells and ultimately leading to the formation of basically a embryo or an adult human being. Basically, this is the process of development. Right? I believe you would have understood that from zygote, one cell, we move on to or we convert into a multicellular organism. This basically comes under development. I hope that definition and the concept of development is clear to you. Now, in Gilbert, one point has also been mentioned that you should be aware about. What is that? It also says that it is the development is basically the route via which an organism grows from genotype to phenotype. So it is the route through which an organism moves from genotype to phenotype. What does this mean? Now we all know that after the now basically sperm has a particular genotype, egg has a particular genotype. When they fuse together to form the zygote, then both the egg's genotype as well as the sperm's genotype are present inside the zygote, right? Now this zygote has a particular genotype. As of now it does not have any phenotype, right? But because of this genotype present inside the zygote, what will happen gradually because of the DNA content? What is genotype? Basically we are talking about the DNA content, the genes that are present, the alleles that are present, isn't it? Now because of this genome content, what will happen that this zygote will start dividing and it will eventually produce an adult human being. Now this adult human being will have a particular phenotype. He or she will have a particular height. He or she will have a particular hair color. He or she will have a particular eye color. What is this? This is the phenotype of the organism. So in case of development, we can say that it is generally, it can be termed as the route via which an organism grows from genotype to phenotype. From the genotype, we are moving towards phenotype. This is called as development. And the study of this will be termed as, in case of biology, the study of this will be called as developmental biology. I hope this concept is clear. Now let us move on to the next page. So the next page shows what is embryology. Now this is another term. Now this term is different from development. This term is confused from development basically. What is embryology? Now the study of phase between the fertilization and the birth. Now this is a limited phase. Understand this. This phase is limited. It is starting from the fertilization and it is ending at the birth. This is called as embryology. So over here you can see in this diagram the fertilization has taken place. Over here the birth has occurred, and this process or this phase is called as embryology. Now let us talk about another question. I am trying to explain all of this material to you with the help of questions. So is the development continuous? What do you think? Of course, in most of the cases the development is continuous until and unless an individual dies, right? From the period of fertilization to the death of the individual, the development is continuous. Why am I saying that? You might think that after a particular age the height of an individual stops, the growth of an individual stops. No, it's not like that. Let me give you an example. At times when suppose you have got hurt, suppose you have got a wound, suppose you fell off from a bike or a cycle and you have got hurt on your arm. What will happen? You can gradually see that the cells on the arm that had got hurt or that had got struck off from your body are now gradually new kind of cells have been new kinds of cells have replaced the older cells that were present. Now I take multiple classes during a day, therefore my tongue is continuously undergoing wear and tear. Now if the older cells are not replaced by the younger cells, then or the older cells are not replaced by newer cells, then this will create a problem for me. Therefore, continuous development is taking place. Similarly, when you go and take bath daily, what happens is the old cells from your body, they are washed away, and the lower epidermis or the lower cell layer, it comes up. Okay, that means it replaces the older cell layer. This is again an example of development. Now this development is continuous. Therefore, I am saying that right from the fertilization till the zygote formation, birth, adult, old, and finally up till death, this continuous development will take place. I hope this concept is clear to you. Now, I want to show you this with the help of a GIF. Right? That why am I saying that the development is continuous? Look at this. I am playing this for you. Just a minute. Right, so I believe you would have seen the GIF. What does it say? Let us start again. So you can see that this is a zygote. Now what happens is that the zygote starts dividing. You can see that the zygote has divided. A new birth has taken place. Now this grows into a child, again an adult, then again growth takes place. Finally, what happens is the growth is continuously taking place. After some time, this will become old, and finally death will take place. So that is why I am saying that the development over here, you can see that it is continuous. I believe this would have been clear with the help of the GIF. Now, what are the different stages of development? Now, as I said, that development is a slow progressive step. It does not take place in one step. There are multiple steps to the development. What are the different steps? First step is fertilization. Now remember that I would be talking about all of these steps in the subsequent lectures, not over here. Okay, I'm just trying to introduce you to the terminology of the development, right? So what are the stages of development? Development can be, there are multiple stages. The first stage is fertilization. The second stage is cleavage. Third stage is gastrulation. Fourth one is organogenesis. Fifth is metamorphosis. Sixth is regeneration. And seventh is senescence. So these are the different stages of development. Now I can explain it to you. I will just go through it pretty quickly with the help of this diagram. Now you can see that this is a frog. Now we can see that the developmental cycle of frog tells us about these different stages. Now firstly, you can see that this is the fertilization stage. Okay, so you can tally it from the first step. This is the fertilization step. Now after fertilization, what is the stage? This is the cleavage stage. You can again tally it. So fertilization basically started when the oocyte was fusing with the sperm. This led to fertilization. After that, cleavage happened. What is cleavage? The division inside the zygote. Now you can see that multiple divisions have taken place. After cleavage, gastrulation basically happens. This is the gastrulation stage. What happens in gastrulation stage? Different layers in the body are formed. For example, epidermis, mesodermis, endoderm. Endoderm, mesoderm, right? So ectoderm, mesoderm or endoderm. These are the three layers that are formed: ecto, meso and endoderm. This layering happens in the gastrulation stage. Next is organogenesis. What happens inside the organogenesis? The organs are generated. Next, what happens is after organogenesis, metamorphosis stage happens. After metamorphosis, regeneration, and finally the death phase will happen. Senescence stage will happen. Okay, so these are the different stages. As I said that we would be talking about all of these stages in separate videos. So now let us talk about the next concept. How would you identify development? What are the identifying features? What are the characteristic features of development? So there are 5 different processes of development. There are 5 different processes through which you can identify that yes, development is taking place. The first step is growth, or the first characteristic feature is growth. What do you mean by growth? So growth simply means that when the size of one particular cell is increasing. Now you can see that size over here is small. It has increased, again it has increased, and now it has become very large. So when the size is continuously increasing, it is called as growth of the cell. Now when you can see growth, then you can say that yes, development is taking place. So this is the first identifying feature of development. Now let us move on to division. Now when you can see that one cell is dividing into two cells, this is also an identifying feature of development. This is cell division. Okay. Now I have also told you about the division that takes place in the phases, right? The cleavage phase, right? So over there also cell division is taking place. So cell division is again a characteristic feature of development. Now let us move on to differentiation. What do you mean by differentiation? Now understand this, that when there is zygote, there is no differentiated cells present over there. That means there is no heart cell, there is no lung cell, there is no liver cell. The differentiation has not taken place. When we say differentiation, we mean that the cells have not identified, or the cells do not know what function they have to carry on. The cells are still in the naive phase, that they are not aware about the function that they will undertake. But gradually as the time progresses, they become differentiated cells. That means they will now come to know, or they will now understand that yes, I am going to function as a heart cell, I am going to function as a liver cell or a lung cell. This is called as differentiation. So when in zygote condition, the cells are present in the stem cell nature. That means they can form any particular cell. But gradually what happens is, as the life progresses, they will understand, the cells will come to know that yes, I am this cell, I am this cell. This is called as function determination, or this is called as differentiation. Okay, I believe you would have understood this. Now let us move on to the next concept, and this is pattern formation. What do you understand by pattern formation? I believe you would not know about this. This might be a new term to you. What do you mean by pattern formation? Pattern formation means that set of processes. Now mind it that this definition is from Gilbert. I will try and explain this definition in my own words so that you can understand it better. Pattern formation, it is the set of processes by which embryonic cells form ordered spatial arrangement of different tissues. Okay, so what basically I am trying to say is that embryonic cells, it is the pattern formation is the process in which the embryonic cells, that means the cells that are present in the embryo, they try and form a spatial arrangement, that is the 3D arrangement, that is dividing inside the complete body cavity. You are trying to divide into tissues, you are trying to locate the different tissues inside your body. That is called as pattern formation. Let me show you a diagrammatic representation of the different patterns that are present on in different plants or in different places. Over here you can see that this is a log of wood. Now in the log of wood you can see that there is a continuous pattern over here. Initially there is light wood. After that the darker wood is present. Now this is a pattern. Now this is the way in which the bricks are laid in a particular area. Now you can see a pattern over here, like this, like this, like this, like this. So in this way the pattern is present. Similarly you can see this particular plant. Now the pattern in which the leaves are present is entirely different with the pattern in which the leaves are present in the next plant. So all the things are following a particular pattern or a 3D spatial arrangement. Now this is made sure by the pattern formation, and this also is a characteristic feature of the development. Right? I believe you would have understood this also. Now let us move on to morphogenesis. What do you mean by morphogenesis? Morphogenesis is the organization of the cell. Okay, what do you mean by organization of the cell? Organization of the cell basically into functional structures. That means now the cells are organized into functional structures, or the structures that can perform different functions, or they can do different types of work. How is this done? This is done through coordinated cell growth, through cell migration, through cell death. Now let me show you another diagrammatic representation. You would be able to understand this. Now this is the process through which the hand is formed. Digits of the hand is formed. Now initially the hand does not have the cavities like this. You can see that. Now you can see that no cavities are present over here. Gradually what happens is the digits are differentiated, and these cells that are present over here, that are present over here, that are present over here and here, they get lost, or there is cell death. Okay, the cell death takes place of these cells, and then because of this there is this cavity that is present over here. Okay, I believe you would have understood this concept. This is how the pattern is forming. Now as I said, this is how the morphogenesis is taking place. Now as I said that morphogenesis will comprise of cell growth. There will be some cells that will be increasing their size. Cell migration will take place. That means a particular cell can move into a different portion. Cell migration is possible, and also cell death is possible. In the example that I just showed you over here, the cells that were present over here are now gone or now have died. Because of those only the digits that you have this kind of appearance, right? So I believe this concept would have been clear to you regarding the what is the development process, what is embryology, what are the stages, what are the characteristic features of development. I believe this lecture would have been useful to you. If you liked the lecture, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, do not forget to press the bell icon, and please do share it with your friends. One more very important information I want to give it to you, that our GATE BT classes have already started. GATE BT 2024 lectures have started. These will be completely online lectures, and there are multiple very important and very beneficial features for all of you students. What are the features? That first very important feature is that 2 times revision will take place. We would be revising the entire entire syllabus twice, 2 times. Another important feature is that you would be getting free test series. Another important feature is that you would be getting free doubt clearing sessions. Another important thing is that you would be getting daily DPPs, right? So all of these features, and apart from this, multiple features are present. And if you want to enroll in this session, you can contact me through 8299134528. Okay, you can contact me on this number. So I hope you would have understood this. Thank you for joining in. Have a good day.